got it?
Yes. Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 books in the entire year, here comes the book number 102. And the name of the book that we have today is The Power of Showing Up, written by Daniel J. Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. Before going further, this book is related to parenting, and let us see the targeted audience, and let us see about the authors also. Daniel J. Siegel. Who is this Daniel J. Siegel? He is an clinical professor of psychiatry at the UCLA School of Medicine and the founding co-director of the mindfulness. So that is all about Siegel. Let us see Tina Payne Bryson. Tina Payne Bryson is a doctorate who is the founder and executive director of the Center for Connection, a multidisciplinary clinical practice of the Play Strong Institute, a center devoted to study, research, and practice of play therapy through a neurodevelopment lens. So she is all taking care of children and whole brain children. So let us see targeted audience. The 35-year dad who is too busy to spend quality time with his kids. For those dads who are busy with the career and busy with other things, for them this will be a helpful guide. The 57-year-old school teacher that wants to give better support to their students, and anyone who is interested in helping children be happier and healthier. I request Sony to continue from here onwards to share 3 lessons from here. Yes, Sony, over to you.
Thank you, Akhil. So let's take a look at synopsis. The power of showing up inspires parents to help their kids develop strong bonds and emotional intelligence by identifying how to be fully present as well as the benefit of doing so. So the saying goes, forgiveness is giving up all hopes for a better past. In this way, we forgive not to condemn, not to say it was fine, but to let go of false illusions that we can change the past. All right, so the other day, my 4-year-old was throwing a temper tantrum. I joked with my in-laws, have kids, they said, it will be fun, they said. Being a parent can be tough. When work and life get in the way, it's hard to spend quality time with your little ones and make sure their needs are met. If you're a parent, you know the struggle, but you also realize how much you want to take good care of your kids so they grow up healthy and happy. Luckily for you, Tina Bryson and Daniel Siegel wrote The Power of Showing Up, how parental presence shapes our kids become and how their brains get wired to help. Let's take a look at the 3 top lessons. I learned a lot from this magical, amazing book, and here are 3 ideas for better practicing. First is give your kids physical and emotional safety if you want to develop a strong bond with them. Yes, safety is always priority. Kids, if parent not, who else can make them physically and emotionally safe? You need to know what your children desire instead of just imposing yours on them. If you want to help them know themselves and truly meet their needs, only on emotional safety you can come to this next step of having that connection where your child can open up and holds you also not to impose on them. Not threaten youngsters when they are throwing a tantrum, soothe them to help them develop emotional intelligence. That can come only on opening up, which is given in lesson 1. Let's go further. Do you want to be a better parent? Let's get right to these lessons to find out how you can. Lesson 1. If you want to be close to your kids, give them physical and emotional safety. I love rollerblading and have done it since I was a kid. Once I took a turn too hard and scraped my entire knee up pretty bad. Luckily, I have since forgotten the pain of this and other injuries I had as a child. Emotional trauma, on the other hand, isn't so easy to wipe from our memories. When children are in threatening and harmful situations, it will stick with them into adulthood. Their development and health will decline even throughout their lives. A 2-year long research project involving 15,000 participants called Adverse Childhood Experiences confirmed this. Those who would experience abuse, neglect, and other form of dysfunction were worse at relating to others, had a harder time coping with problems, and also had more health issues. They even died earlier on average. Sometimes even the best of parents can still be a threat to their children's safety. The key thing to watch out for is aggression. This can come in various forms, including physical, verbal, or implied, including body language and facial expressions. Inevitably, you are going to lose your temper at some point, though. To mitigate the effects of this on your child, always apologize. Then spend quality time with them as soon as you can after forward to heal the relationship. Yeah, it's very natural that when you're parenting at time to discipline or could be any other reason, there is a huge possibility that you throw up, you unleash your anger, and that can have an adverse effect. But it's always good to stand and apologize. And glad I do that with my child, and it helps me next time to show up in a better way. Let's have a look at the lesson number 2. To help your children know themselves and meet their needs, you need to pay attention to their desires instead of making them follow yours. If you have a best friend that you can talk to about anything, then you know how useful they can be for when times are tough. That's because they understand you deeply and accept you regardlessly of what happens or what you think and feel. You need this kind of relationship with your kids if you want to show up for them. Too often, though, it's difficult to keep your own aspirations out of their way. A father might, for example, rigorously train his son to become a college athlete, but the dad ignores each instance where boy hints at his love of music. Or a mother might think of her daughter as lazy because she's getting bad grades, when in fact it's only because she's having a hard time fitting in. This isn't just bad because kids don't get to realize their dreams. It's also a problem because they can internalize these thoughts. The girl whose mother thinks she's lazy might start believing that's actually true. To combat this, develop a curiosity for who they really are and devote enough time to observing them to figure it out. Don't let your own judgments get in the way either. Let your kids express themselves freely too. Plan a regular time to spend just listening and talking with them and let them be open. Don't judge what they are saying, and they will open up to you further. So I would like to bring this point as a parent that connection first before correction. Connection is far more important. So one should look into that connection, allow them to open up, and I'm implementing, I'm happy, I'm somewhere there, but I'm always, there is a room to improve more and more, and this brings me that. So let's look at lesson number 3. Soothe your kids when they are upset instead of getting angry if you want them to have emotional intelligence. If your parent, if you are a parent, you know how difficult temper tantrums are to deal with, even if you don't have kids. But seeing one happening, you can get an idea of how frustrating they are. The initial tendency in this situation is for parents to respond with anger, threat, or timeout. But none of these work. What the child really needs is empathy. They need you to soothe them. When you learn this vital skill, your kids will become more resilient and will have fewer outbursts in the future. That's because with repeated soothing from you they will gain the skill necessary to do it for themselves. On Texas school district that the authors worked which showed the power this has. Children who were soothed after getting upset became calm much faster than when they were punished. Additionally, the intensity, length, and frequency of the tantrums decreased. To help your family develop this habit and reap these benefits, use the following tools. A safe space when kids can go when they are upset. A list of favorite calming songs to listen to. Go to physical activities to help them deal with their emotions. Signal words or phrases to use when they need your help. Whenever they show you they are upset, respond with care and affection and listen to their needs. With practice, their emotional intelligence will become strong like yours. Yes, here I think it's so very important. Even when we are upset, we want an emotion to be seen and acknowledged. And the moment it is acknowledged, it just comes to a calm. It does not show up in any adverse way. And how you want your emotions to be acknowledged, the parent can be patient and acknowledge their child's emotion. Thank you.
Great, Sony. Thank you so much. I want to connect with this book recently. When my sister and niece came to my home, she kept niece and she went for Hyderabad. She went for her home. I was to handle two kids, one of my niece and one of my nephew. So at that time, I used to sleep with my niece, and she used to tell that I am hungry, I am scary, all these things she used to tell in on the bed. She wants like that care in the bed, who can what we say, like fulfill their needs. Like whenever she say that I'm scary, I tell that don't fear, I'm here. So as you said, connection is more important than correction. So that is also one of the most important. Here, one of the point I connected here is generally parents train their children to become as per their aspirations, and they don't listen the children's aspirations. Somehow our previous generations made this as a habit. Like many parents used to make their kids as a engineers, doctors, as per their forced aspirations, whereas the children have their own love towards different fields. In my case also, I used to feel like sometimes I love literature. I used to love writing different books and writing different things. But later I have moved into the engineering field. Somehow love towards music also was hidden. So if you are a parent, try to see the hints that showcase your kids talents and your kids love towards their field. And here there are few things: a safe space where kids can go and when they are upset. One of the thing I observed with my niece and nephew was they are addicted to the iPad and mobile phone and TV also, means especially YouTube. So these three things, they are very much addicted. even they skip the food and they watch the iPad and YouTube, play games, all these things, they were habituated. So due to that, they are feeling like little upset sometimes. And at that time, I have selected this one, go to physical activities. I have showcased one park. We went for one park. So they played with the sand and they enjoyed a lot. And on that day, my niece used only 1 hour for playing in the evening. I restricted 1 hour time. Then afterwards, at that day, I felt like she's really fearless on that day. So we felt like, yes, safe space should be provided, and to physical activities we are ignoring in the current world. So we need to have the physical activities, whether it may be drawing and whether it may be painting. I used to give the Sunday magazines I have and tell them to paint, like whatever the colors you want, you select the colors and paint them. So physical activities to be needed for dealing with their emotions. And a list of favorite calming songs to listen to is also another one, but I didn't try that. So these are the 4 things I felt connected recent past times. And today morning also I was watching one of the video of my niece and just connecting with that, how they are very active and hyperactive current world. So forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. So I didn't understand this properly, but I want to repeat this statement again. Forgiveness is giving up all hope for a better past. Can you reveal the meaning, Sony, for this statement?
Yeah, what I understand from this, that if that would not happen, then it would be better if something went wrong, all right, where you're upset. So you need to let go and forgive that anything could have happened better. Sometimes we roll into that. Probably I understand that it is.
What I feel is like, due to the hope, we get misery. So we hope the past should be better, or we hope the future should be better. So all the hope we set, if that happens good, everything is good. If that doesn't happen good, it will leads to miseries. So giving up all hope, in the sense, no expectations, I guess. So
But it is for past.
yeah, past only. For a better past means like we are not expecting anything from the past. Whatever the past is happened.
Yeah.
So we can't get the past to present.
Like if I give my example, I was very fond of painting and dancing,
Yeah,
an art subject.
great.
But I did not go. The elders of the family, I took commerce.
Oh,
So that's how I'm talking about. So I have to forgive and move on. That is what I understand.
I recommend you to continue the painting, like even weekly magazines you will get. So in the weekly magazines, there will be painting section. So try it out once. If you have a weekly magazine, Sunday magazine, only Sunday magazine, you will get the pictures to draw or pictures to paint. Make it a habit for you or for your kids. In my case, I used to solve the puzzles in the Sunday book only. We used to solve the puzzles at the end, like Sudoku puzzle and crossword puzzle. So we used to do that puzzles every week, no matter what. So make it a habit of that physical activity. So that will be helpful for showing up to your kids. Not only that.
One second. Just go up. Yeah, so if we look in further, it says that not to say that it is fine, but let go of false illusion that we can change the past.
That's what we can't change the past. Right?
Yeah, sometimes that past thingy, we bring that tantrum, upsetness in the present, and then mess this also. So we are actually doing out of what some false illusion.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So the main essence of this book is how to shape your kids who they want to become. how their brains get wired to help. So these two things we need to take care of this. You need to learn from this book summary. Have a time with your kids today, at least 20 to 30 minutes, spend some physical activities. Avoid all the screen activities like mobile, TV, laptop. Keep all the things aside and spend some at least 20 to 30 minutes with your kids. Nowadays, I'm making a new habit of spending 1 hour in the digital free time. That is from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So I am going to temple and spending over there. So that's how I'm managing. We'll see how it is going to affect me and in the future, and I will reveal the same. Thank you so much. See you in another